First of all, thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate the exposure and the attention. Whenever we can get attention to women's basketball is a great thing. The sport is obviously growing, and you guys being out here is a testament to what we're doing here in Norfolk State and around the country. So really appreciate you. I don't take it for granted, the media. And whenever you guys need me, I'll be available anytime. Speaking of the season, so far 2-1. Obviously, we took a loss at Ole Miss, nationally ranked team. Coach Yor's a great friend of mine. I told her after the game they're probably going to be Elite Eight or Final Four. Her goal is the Final Four. She talked to our team after the game, and they talk about that all the time. Final Four, Final Four. A Sweet 16 last year, but now the goal is Final Four. And we do the same thing. Our hashtag is going the number 4 it. We want to continue the legacy here and the tradition that has been set, and won 4 in a row. All right, and that's it. It'll be our first as a unit, but it'll be 4 for the school. And I'm all about, as you can see on my shirt, it just says Norfolk State. No basketball, no anything, just about the university itself. I'm an ambassador for the university. Obviously, I'm a women's basketball coach, but I want to be a part of the whole. It's not about me, it's not about us, it's about we. And that's what we do, and we preach it all the time. So we want to win a championship for the university. So everything you see with us will be about this university itself, not women's basketball. So we're going to roll it to Duke after a 2-1 start and face another nationally ranked team. The good thing about these first 2 games, and people ask me why we playing these games. Well, if you don't know, Ole Miss and Duke agreed for a home-and-home game. So they'll both return next year in the 26-27 season to Eccles Hall. We want to pack that thing. I started it at Coppin State. We had LSU come in, obviously, and this year, Don Stelly will be rolling in there. I wish I could have got that contract, but we're happy to have Ole Miss and Duke, and the following year we'll have North Carolina, and then a big surprise after that. I won't relay that yet. We'll have the contract. So every year we'll try to do that and bring somebody in here so we can try to sell it out and just give the community some exposure to these big name schools, and the young women in the area and the people get to see these coaches come in here and get to see ACC schools, and that's from relationships. I'm a big fan of Kara. She's coach has been a tremendous. When we played LSU, the next following year we played at Duke, and she said to me, "Coach, I want to do it. Like I want to come. I heard you did a great job hosting LSU," and she kept her word, and they agreed to a home and with me here. So excited about the opportunity. Obviously, going to be a tough one. She does an amazing job coaching. She's an Olympic coach. She's a fantastic person, a human being, and I look forward to competing against her. And I learned a lot from her, especially her defensive scheme. So I'm excited about the opportunity. Excited about going to Cameron Indoor. I'm a big Duke fan of men's basketball. So, obviously I was in the ACC, so I've been there a lot, and I promise you'll catch me on the floor taking a picture on Coach K's name. But it's going to be an exciting time. We're looking forward to the trip. It's funny, people say that, but it was fun being 0-0. And so leading up to it, but I'm in my comfort zone, and being able to just get out there and just coach and see what you put together. Obviously we had a lot of new pieces, but I don't think about taking over for Larry. I kind of think about taking over for the tradition in the university. And obviously he's done a great job with the programming and got it to the standard it is, and we want to follow that and keep the standard. But all around, we just have great leadership from top to bottom. And so, I don't want to disappoint anybody. The leadership with Dr. J and Dr. Webb, the community, and most of the fans, and most importantly, the young women. So, I work hard every day, my staff and I. We put together the best game plans we can, and we put a lot of time in to try to keep the standard and live up to the expectations here in Norfolk State.
Go ahead, brother.
I was going to say, 2-1 start. How have you been able to make it such a smooth transition?
Home is home, right? We had our first inaugural brunch, and the young lady who introduced me would say, "It's power when the son returns home, when the son returns home," and I really believe in that. And just being home and being embraced by the community, it's just been special. So it's been an easy transition. My wife is from here as well, and so just having her here with her family, kind of eased her mind a little bit, and she's able to be at home and take care of the kids, and then keep me grounded and fed. And so it's been a smooth transition just being with my family. And I'm telling you, I know I keep saying it, that Dr. Webb, has been phenomenal for me. Like, I can go in the office and talk to her, and everything I've asked for, she's provided for me, and that allowed me to recruit well and be able to have the things for these young women and be able to win. So every department, like even the media department, it's just been a smooth transition. I think I'm kind of easy to work with, because I don't ask for a lot. And I kind of just think we all just equal. Like, from the custodian to the president, we all just people. And when you carry yourself that way, people tend to like you and treat you well. And everybody's been fantastic to me. So they've made it smooth.
Jace, you talked about the impact that AJ, DeBrio, like players who were in the previous regime but really saw that big game experience, how impactful they've been to the other players on this roster, the new players on this roster. How have they been impactful to you in your first season here in Norfolk?
Yeah, it was challenging at first because, you're talking about two women who've always won a championship. So they've been here 2 years and they've won a championship both years. So, coming in and changing the guard and doing new offense and new defensive scheme, like everything is new because, like I tell them, I don't know how you guys did it. I wasn't a part of that. And so I wasn't inside to see it. If I could copy it, I would. But, I don't know. And so it was challenging at first, and they had to get them to buy in, and I think they've bought in. And when they go out there and compete, and they play in those big games, and they show up, and and Jaysha, I like what she said, but like she's not giving herself enough credit. Jaysha's the engine that makes us go. She's been there. She's the leading scorer at Hampton. She played at Temple, where she was really good at Temple, and so like she is our engine. And I think she looks to them, for advice of, what Norfolk State is. But, Jaysha Clinton is the engine that makes us go. And so happy to have her. And I called her today and just told her how proud I am to be her coach. Because she allows me to coach her, like, hard, though. Like, y'all don't hear half the stuff I say to Jaysha. And we don't want to hear it, right? And so I'm just so proud of her as well. And good coaches. And so happy to have her here. And especially her attitude. She shows up every day and competes. If she's mad at me, she still competes, and that's what it's all about, having a player like that. That's why she's a captain, because she's a leader.
How do the go ahead, Trey?
I was just going to ask, like, when you think about this being a new team, kind of how do you use this upcoming road trip against these top programs as kind of a measuring stick for what you want this team to look like as the season progresses?
We're process-driven, right? The outcome is the outcome, but how did you get there? And we talk about the process all the time. And I know it's a cliche word, but it's real. And so we don't necessarily look, like for instance, we were up by whatever at halftime. I didn't know because I'm not watching the score. Whether we're down by 30, up by 30, what are we doing? Are we doing the right way in losing? Are we doing the right way in winning? What are we doing? And if we're doing the right things, then I'm happy. But yesterday we didn't do the right things, so I was kind of upset after the game. We need to do the right things all the time. So when we play Duke, it's not about Duke, it's about Norfolk State University and what we can do to prepare ourselves to win a MEAC championship. So whether that's winning by 20, losing by 20, whatever the outcome may be, how was the process? And we're process driven, and I'm trying to drive that into our team. And the one thing that we have to get better at is not letting emotions defeat us. I think a lot of times in sports, your emotions get in the way and not your opponent. And if your emotion is going to defeat you, you never give your opponent a chance to win. And so we got to work on that as well. Keeping our emotions intact. It's okay to have emotions, but we don't want to act on them. We're learning that every single day. Make your opponent beat you, not yourself. And we have to keep our emotions in check. So we're just working on that and trying to get better and understanding that, you can't cut the nets down without each step. And so we have to be process driven. So whatever happens, happens. But I just look at what we did and what we can do better.
You may have just answered this in part. My question was going to be, how does playing these Power 4 ranked teams in November prepare you for March?
It does, because they're going to be there. And so you get an opportunity to compete against teams that are going to be there in March. And obviously we're going to get a low seed, right, in our conference. And let me say this, though. And I want to make sure I'm clear. We are a one big league, so is almost everybody else. And I think people get that mixed up. The MEAC is a one big league, so are you. All right, if you're not those Power 4 schools or Atlanta 10 or Big East, you're probably a one big league as well. And so we want to play against these teams. Hope we're going to compete against this March, so it won't be a surprise. And so we show up in March Madness and we get a 16 or a 15, whatever that may be, or the buy-in game, whatever it may be. We've seen that competition before and we're used to it. So, I've played these games since I've been the head coach for 4 years, and I've always done this, and I won't run from it. But just, again, the opportunity for them to come back to us is a big deal as well.
What about getting ready for February, when you're like in the heat of your conference season, you have these battle tests from back in November you can draw on? Is there anything there or not really?
Yeah, you draw something from there. You see how good you are, and I think the most important thing is your players. We think we are. I think I'm a great coach and great players, and then you go against other great players and great coaches. You get to see what you need to work on, what you need to get better at. And our conference is challenging. We have great coaches and players as well, but competing against top 20 teams, that prepares you for a lot. The game moves a lot faster, so you got to coach a lot faster. the players are a lot bigger and stronger, so you got to play bigger and stronger. So it does get you ready a little bit for conference, and understanding that, you know, if you can compete at this level, you can compete anywhere. And so, but what you don't want to do is lose confidence in those games when you're playing against the Ole Miss, who will be a Final Four team. And so you leave that game, and I never get too high. And Noah has been with me, I never get too high or too low, right? A good win is a good win, a loss is a loss. You got to move on to the next game. But, you know, I do find solace in being around in those environments and putting the team in those environments, because now women's basketball, you have to go to those places and play. It's not at a neutral site. And so, you know, we may see these teams in March, and we look forward to the opportunity.
You talked about going for it, right, being the slogan of the team, but also this team hasn't lost at home in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, how much pride do you take in that to defend home court?
Yeah, I don't know about, you know, the winning streak, and I take pride in winning, period, right? Defending home court is one thing, but we want to win every game, and especially at home. But a couple people in the past, from the past program, you know, when we got Duke and Ole Miss coming, they're like, man, the home winning streak. But we're in a new climate, guys. Like, we're in revenue sharing, right? And so my job is to create revenue for the school, for the athletic program, and for women's basketball. And in order to do that, we have to raise money. So what a better way to raise money than to have a top 10 team or a Final Four team come into Eccles and you sell it out. Well, we get part of that revenue, so we can keep up with the times and be able to take care of our players, so we can recruit well and have players coming in, so we can stay a top 10, 15 mid-major program. And so that's why I'm doing it. And if we lose, we lose, but we may win. And so we don't want to say the winning streak could be over, but, you know, I'm not too worried about that, because the climate has changed, man. We have, and we must raise money in order to stay relevant. And we just don't want to be a great HBCU. We want to be a nationally ranked major program. We want to be able to compete with the best. And in order to do that, you have to raise money. And for those schools to even want to step foot in here to help us do that, while taking care of our expenses when we travel to their place, is amazing. And I won't ever turn down the opportunity and to worry about a home court winning streak, right? We want to put the young woman first. And what's first is them having the opportunities, the resources available, so they can compete.
You talked earlier about you wish you could basically copy the blueprint for
Yeah.
the past success for NSU women's basketball. Have you had any conversations with Larry at all as that transition happened from his regime to yours?
No, well, Larry was a big advocate for me to get the job here, and I appreciate that. But we haven't really talked. Once you're in season, it's like you just locked in. You know, I have a lot of friends in this business, but, you know, I haven't really talked to him about, you know, what it takes and what happened. We have an entirely different team. We don't have the team, and we lost 5 starters, really, you know, from last year's team, so it's different. And we don't have Diamond and Mimi, and we talk about it all the time. But I tell you what we do have, we have enough. And we have enough to win it. We have enough people in that room to win a championship. So, you know, we're going to do it our way by respecting the tradition and the legacy that was before us, but it's going to be done our way. And last night was an amazing night. They won 30 games last year. If we win 20, I'm happy. You know, we want to win 30. You know, but the goal is to cut the nets down March 14th. We win 30 games and losing the championship, nobody cares, right? And so we're going to be process-driven and just try to do it the way we know how to do it, and just keep it and keep the main thing, and not just focusing on what we can do with this group.
Thanks, Coach.